Hello. I'm really out of breath because I was just dancing. Hello, I'm Sandra, your most wonderful, most beloved self love reminder. Hello! Okay, so I've asked Spirit what video I'm supposed to record today because I mean, I'm not doing this for nothing here, right? Like, there's a message. There's a message that I have to spread because I'm a divine messenger. So, God is saying that you're fucking amazing, and God wants you to know to just fucking do it. Just fucking do it, okay? Whatever the fuck you want to do, just fucking do it. And that's it. That's the message. That's really all I have to say. Obviously not, because I love to talk. I talk a lot. I have a lot to say because I have a lot to share. What can I say? Well, I have a lot to say. And one of the things that I have to say is that if you're looking for happiness, okay, which I feel like many, many, many people are not as happy as they would like to be. That was definitely the case for me for most of my life. I spent 20 plus years in addiction. I had an eating disorder and I hated myself. Like, I just fucking hated myself in my life. I hated my body and all of that stuff. And so guess what? Like, my experience of life was not one of happiness and joy and self-love. It was quite the opposite. And now it's different. So that makes me want to share with you how I got here, because if I can actually have a happy life, excuse my burps, I just had some soda water, then why couldn't you have a wonderful, wonderful life? A life that feels free and alive and joyful, and where you get up in the morning and you're actually excited to be alive, rather than you think, oh my god, like, why the fuck, like, why do I have to go through this, why do I have to be alive, like, what is this shit, right? And you're just like looking forward to find some sort of relief from the pain of existence. Like, trust me, I get it, I've been there like for such a long time, but thankfully I worked myself out of this, and I just want to share the joy. So it's so fucking simple, right? So that's the thing. Life is simple. Life is really, 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 really simple. And I need you to know this. I need you to cement this into you, okay? It's not supposed to be difficult. Life is meant to be easy. Now, that doesn't mean that life isn't also difficult and that there aren't times of struggle. Of course, like, that's also part of life. We all know it, but that's just that is what it means to be alive. But at the same time, I'm kind of over people saying, I had this conversation with this dude the other day, and he was like saying, well, we need to go through the dark stuff to know the good stuff. And while that is actually, I mean, that's obviously absolutely true. I'm not saying that that's not the case, because that's absolutely the case, right? And if I hadn't gone through these like shitty times, then I wouldn't be where I'm at now. I wouldn't be as happy as I am now, because I probably wouldn't appreciate it as much. I probably wouldn't be as grateful, right? So that's absolutely true. But at the same time, I also absolutely believe, and that's my experience of life now anyway, is that once you're out of the shit, once you're out of the dark times, there you don't need to go back. What's the point? You already know what it's like to be shit, right? You already know what it's like to struggle. You know what it's like to be depressed, to have like to go through apathy, without having like the zest of life. You're just existing, right? You're surviving. Every day is a fight, and it's just so fucking draining and exhausting, and there is no joy. You already know what that's like. Why would we have to go back to that? And I think so many of us go through just a shitty experience of life, but then we get used to it, right? We think like, well, that's just how our life is going to be, that's just who we are now, and we're never going to get out of this, and it's never going to get better, because it's been shit for such a long time. But that's not true. The thing is, like, the more, and that's just true with everything, the more we do something, the more we get accustomed to it, the more it becomes normal to us, right? So if we have a life of depression and shittiness and victim mentality and victimhood, the more we're going to think, well, that's normal. And the more we normalize this shit, the more we're going to think, well, it's never going to be different. But the thing is, it's always our choice. We can always choose to not be like that anymore. We can just simply decide right now in this moment, and this is why it's simple. In this moment, we can decide, you know what? No, I no longer want this life for me. I'm going to be different from now on. The only thing you need is the now moment. And that's why it's so fucking simple. And then you decide right now that you want a different life, that you want to transform, that you want to be happy. From now on, you're a happy person. Now, of course, there's going to be all of these thoughts and all of that stuff that's coming in telling you, well, if it was that easy, right? Yeah, right. That is your current identity trying to tell you that it's not possible for you, that it has to be hard, that it's about suffering, it's not that easy, right? That's the thing. And this is your identity telling you, well, you are a piece of shit and you're a victim, and there's all of these circumstances, right? There's all of these things telling you, showing to you, well, how could I possibly be happy if my life is like this or that or that? How could I possibly be happy if I'm broke? How could I possibly be happy if I don't have a relationship? How could I possibly be happy if the relationship with my parents is shit, or what my parents did to me back in childhood, blah, 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 blah. But when you think about this, well, these are all just like circumstances, right? And why are these circumstances there? Because of who you were being, because of who you thought you were. That's why the circumstances will show that to you. Your lived reality is always a reflection of who you are. So if you right now observe shitty circumstances, it's because of all the thoughts, beliefs that you held beforehand, before you decide in the now moment that now you're happy. But if you decide in the now moment, oh, I'm happy now, what's your life change? As long as you keep remembering that you are now a different person. If you decide, oh, I'm happy now, and then in the next moment, the old identity comes in telling you, no, how could you possibly be happy? All the things that I just mentioned, right? Then you fall back into believing, yeah, right, exactly, like it's not possible for me, and blah, 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 blah. Then, of course, it's not going to change, because you then once more believe the old. But if you just keep remembering from this moment on, I'm happy, and then the next moment, so next moment arrives, the next moment, a voice in your head trying to tell you, but you remember, it's like shit, everything is so hard. What do? You choose not to believe that, right? No, I'm happy now. I'm happy now. My life is beautiful now, right? And you just keep building this momentum. You keep reminding yourself that from now on, your life is beautiful, awesome, amazing, full of joy and love and happiness. And the more you do something, the more it becomes normal to you, the more it will be your normal lived reality. And that's how I did it too. I had to rid myself of everything that I once thought I was, all the things that I used to believe in, all the things I was holding on to, and systematically, bit by bit, just weed out the bullshit limiting beliefs that I was holding about myself, and truly fucking trusting who I truly am, knowing who I am, and keep reminding myself of who I am, and then sticking to it. And there was definitely times where I was completely in between, because I had this old identity telling me all the things that I used to believe, and then there was this new version of myself that I reminded myself who I actually was, which is a divine fucking being that's infinite intelligent, that's infinitely powerful and beautiful, and is made out of unconditional love, which is the embodiment of abundance and freedom and joy and beauty. That is who I truly am, and that's who you are too. And so I had these two versions of myself telling me this one thing and then the other thing, and then my life was total chaos. But that was a thing that I experienced, and that's okay. That was part of my journey. But even in the darkest fucking times, I would still hold on to the new version of myself. And even going through homelessness and all of that stuff, I would still be like, no, I know I'm a new version of myself now. I'm a new version of myself. And a new version of myself is happy and free and abundant. And today, I'm in this beautiful place in Thailand recording this video, and I'm so fucking happy. I truly am. And that doesn't mean that there aren't times when like my mood is lower. Earlier I had a nap and I woke up from the nap and I woke up and I'm like, oh man, But at the basis, at the root of it, I am very quick these days to remind myself, oh, wait a second. No, wait. There's no need to feel shit. There's no need to pull myself down. There's no need to talk myself down. There's no need to tell myself, but everything sucks. No, you just take every fucking moment. And even if you experience this moment to be like not so great, which is a human experience, right? If you frame it as if it was great, then you will be very quickly pulled back into your elevated state. It's just about being consistent. It's about remembering who the fuck you are and reminding yourself of that over and over again and not forgetting. And then you become the embodiment of this, and that's how your life is going to be. And going back to the beginning of the video when I was saying, well, you need to know the dark times in order to know the good ones. But that's what I was talking about. Like, you don't have to be afraid of falling back into the old, because once you are the new version of yourself, there's no going back. Again, you can have like shitty moments, even shitty days or whatever, but as long as you are framing them, judging them as the best case scenario, that's what I've been doing. Everything always works out for me. Everything always works out in the best way possible. Everything is always best case scenario. And if my mind, if my identity doesn't agree with what's happening, if I'm judging it, if my lower self is judging it as, well, I don't like this is stupid, this is not good, whatever, then I'm very quick to observe that and be like, no, this is best case scenario, because I'm surrendering to my higher version. I'm surrendering to the knowing that spirit, the divine, our divine spark, the infinite intelligence that runs through each of all of us. This higher version of me, this part of me that is more intelligent than my ego, my lower self. I trust that whatever happens in my life is best case scenario. Earlier, I was at the shop and I wanted to buy things, and it was more expensive than the money that I was carrying on me, the cash that I had. But I had my card, so I asked if I could pay with card. And she said, yeah, no problem, but they charge like 4% or something, which was annoying, but what was I gonna do? So I said, okay, yeah, no worries, just charge my card. I tried the card and the card's not working. The card isn't working 3 times because, and the funny thing is like that in that very moment, I was observing myself and I already knew that this card is not going to work, although there was no issues with my card before and there is money on it, like no problems, right? But I knew in this scenario that I was being protected from overpaying. I knew that my card wasn't working, although there wasn't any issues with my card, because it wasn't the best case scenario. It wouldn't have been the best case scenario if the card would have worked. So the best case scenario was like, I was like, you know what? Let me just put something back. And I put something back and I paid with the cash that I had. And that was the best case scenario because I was protected from overpaying. You know what I mean? Like this type of stuff. And in other, if you had another perspective on it, you could have said, oh no, like this is like embarrassing, or why didn't this work out and now I didn't get this one thing or whatever. But to me, I was genuinely unbothered. I was like, oh, okay, this is how this goes, because I trust my higher self. I trust God. I trust that everything is always working out for me perfectly. And I'm so glad that it worked out like this because I saved money. Right? Like, and didn't I didn't actually need this one thing that I wanted to buy. Like, it wasn't some essential item. I was like, well, I'm just gonna put something back. You know what I mean? Like, it's just always it's always about perspective. And so that's what I mean with, like, things don't have to go like up and down, up and down, up and down all the time. For me, there's only up. For me, from now on, there's only up. And up meaning not like like high, like always like high. It means neutral, it means unbothered, it means there is no lag, there is no going down, there is no decline. And even if some crazy ass shit were to happen, if that's the best case scenario, because I know my life is always best case scenario, everything is always working for me. And even if there will this is like some crazy ass shit that I did not expect to happen, then I trust that infinite intelligence, God, frames this as the best case scenario and knows that this is the best case scenario, even if I don't understand. And so I trust. And that is the ultimate trust. And that's how life becomes so magical and beautiful and awesome. And you're no longer going to be afraid. You're not going to be afraid, because what's there to worry about? What's there to be afraid of when you know that everything always works out for you in the best case scenario? There is no there is nothing to be scared of anymore, and that is a beautiful beautiful experience of life. What can I tell you? Just imagine just like going through life and not being scared of shit. And that doesn't mean that I'm not like nervous about something or whatever, but as soon as I get nervous about something, I'm like, oh, best case scenario. So, and then immediately I feel so much better. So, if you want to be truly happy in life and love your life, love yourself, you have to remember who the fuck you are. You have to remember that you're so fucking powerful and you truly, truly can turn your life around. Because I turned my life around. If I can do it, you can do it too. It's one of those. It's one of those. But it's the truth. And if you had told me like a year ago that I'd be here now, I would have believed you. I would have believed you, because I already knew a year ago when I was living in the streets. And living is a exaggeration. I was just like sleeping in the streets a few nights, right? It wasn't like that dramatic. It doesn't always have to be so fucking dramatic. Like, it was still kind of dramatic because it was very like it was crazy. It was really really rough. I mean, it was the roughest thing I've ever had to go through, obviously, but it's not like that I lived on the streets for like 10 years or something like that, like others unfortunately have to go through. But still, it was a very very um impactful situation. And but as I was like eating fucking crisps from the ground next to the bin, I still knew that this was going to be part of my story, but is what it wasn't going to be the end, and it would lead me to something so much bigger. I always knew. I even knew in the worst fucking times when I was going through 20 years of addiction, and when I felt so fucking lost, there was always this part of me, there was always this spark in me that knew this isn't how my life is supposed to be. This is not how I will end up. This is not what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Even if there was so much noise of telling me differently. But this is the divine spark in you that you also have, that knows, no, 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 there's more to life. There's more to life for you, because life is supposed to be amazing. Life is supposed to be fun. Life is supposed to be easy. And life is going to be easy when you align yourself with your highest path. And your highest path is remembering who you are and following your internal guidance of what you love to do. Do what you love to do. That is your internal guidance of how you will become most happy in life, even if it doesn't make sense up here. Even if you're observing circumstances that telling you, no, this is not the way. Like, look how you're not free. Look at all the things why you can't be happy. But happiness is a choice. But maybe at the beginning, that choice doesn't feel true. But the more you remind yourself of your truth, the more it will feel true, the more you will actually experience that happiness. Okay, I'm gonna finish this video now. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you very, very much. If you made it till the end of this video, please drop me a like or something like that, a comment. I would love a comment. I would absolutely love a comment. I would love to know who you are and if this was helpful to you. So I'm sending you so much love because I fucking love you and I want you to love your life too. Because why the fuck would there is there the need, like why in the world would there be miserable people out there when it can be different? It can be different, you know what I mean? Like we could all actually share this joy with each other. That's the most beautiful thing to me, to connect with other humans and share joy with each other. Like why the fuck, what else would we be doing? What else would we be doing if not being fucking in love with each other and connect with each other and share joy with each other? Like I think that is the beauty of life to me, and I hope to share the joy with you as well. Okay, I send you so much love. Until next time, bye.